Very good morning. Jai Shri Krishna Guru. Thank you for joining Guru Charitra Parayan. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, Om Shri Saraswataya Namaha, Om Shri Guru Dattatreya Namaha, Om Shri Mahalakshmi Namaha, Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Guru Charitra Parayan. We'll continue from where we stopped, that is chapter 12, Narahari taking to Sanyasa. I'm going to recap what this chapter is all about and then we'll continue from where we left. In this chapter, Narahari, Amba's son, gives spiritual instruction to his mother. He blesses her that she would have 2 more sons within a year and 1 more son and daughter later. After the birth of the 2 sons, twins, Narahari leaves home for Kashi. He was hardly 9 years old at that time. At Kashi, he took initiation into Sanyasasrama from Krishna Saraswati and took the name of Narasimha Saraswati. After that, he went to Badarikasrama and visited many holy places. So yesterday, we learnt about how Narahari leaves home for Kashi and meets his Gurudev and asks him to instruct him or initiate him in the path of Sanyasasrama. So let us see what Narahari has to say. Narahari came to Varanasi, the spiritual center of Bharat. Every day, after taking his bath in the sacred waters of the Ganges, he used to worship Kashi Vishveshvara 3 times a day. At Kashi, he came in contact with Sri Krishna Saraswati, a highly advanced yogi and a fully realized soul. Narahari requested Sri Krishna Saraswati to initiate him into the Sanyasasrama. Sri Krishna Saraswati was pleased at the devotion, the austere discipline and earnestness of Narahari, and much more so with his intellectual brilliance and scriptural knowledge. Krishna Saraswati recognized in him a future savant of the spiritual culture of the country, and especially one who was going to glorify the supremacy of Sanyasasrama again. If you understand this or what is being mentioned here, it's very clearly is telling you that every divine being manifests for a purpose. I think I have discussed this enough in every chapter that we have done so far. Even in Sai Baba's Poti, the same thing has been explained. The divine manifests because they have a purpose. And here, what is Narahari's purpose? That is Narasimha Saraswati's purpose as Dattatreya. What is he doing? He has manifested so that he could glorify the supremacy of Sanyasasrama again. And that is why they go on that path. They take themselves the Sanyasasrama and then they set an example to the world how to follow that particular path. Like example, my Krishna Guruji only propagates about Bhakti Marg, which is love and devotion to the Lord. Now, your Lord can be anybody you want. We are not compelling that you have to only follow Krishna, you have to only follow Radha Krishna or anything like that, right? It is your Ishta, whoever you truly seek from your within. You have to just follow that path and just have love and devotion. Here, my Krishna Guruji will never say you take a sannyasasrama, but he will only teach you the way of life, how to live a righteous life, how to follow the path of righteousness while still performing all your actions, your karma in this world. Every body has a purpose. In this case, Narahari's purpose was to establish the supremacy of Sanyasasrama. So he got initiation into the Sanyasasrama dharma by his Gurudev. And who is his Gurudev? Krishna Saraswati. So this is extremely important. Imagine a 9-year-old boy, leaving home, going to Kashi. How beautiful and divine it is. But imagine what kind of intellectual power or the knowledge does he have at that time. Why? Because he's the Lord Almighty himself. He just has donned that body. It's just the garb. Like today I'm wearing this garment and tomorrow I will discard it. That's how it is. So they manifest in a body, they don that body, they don that garb, they serve their purpose. Once the purpose is finished, they will leave and go away. But please remember, they're only leaving this body. the physical body which has come from the mother nature, but they are eternally there, because that is why I keep saying it is a tattva. God is an principle, where there is, we say Purusha and Prakriti or Shakti, which is Shakti is the active principle and Shiv is the passive principle. So Purusha and Prakriti, same thing. It's an active and a passive principle. I mean, Purusha is passive and Shakti is Prakriti is active principle. The creation happens by Mother Nature. Prakriti is the one who creates this universe. So it's a principle. It's not the way you look at it as a, oh, God is a male or a female. It's an active and a passive principle. That is what it is. So likewise, the Guru Tattva, it's a principle again. They are always existing. That is why we say Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum. He's the master of this universe. He's the Guru of this entire Jagat, this entire universe. He's always there. So Lord Dattatreya is the supreme master. He's the master of all the Gurus. Everybody. Now imagine, now this principle is manifesting in a form. Why? Because it has to establish, in this world certain things, like establishing the dharma in certain aspects. So depending on what time, when they manifest, so there is a purpose at every given point in time. So that is what is important. So they're all manifest. What is this telling here? It is teaching how even when the divine themselves manifest, they all have to go through the Guru. The essence of the importance of the Guru is being explained here. How without a Guru you cannot evolve on the path of spirituality. Even you might be Lord Dattatreya, even you might be Lord Shri Krishna or Shri Ram. It doesn't matter. When you manifest in a body, the only path is through the Guru. Guru is the doorway to God. That is why they also meet their Guru and go through the training, the process of getting initiated formally, and then following whatever the Guru has commanded them to do. And they have to study under them. Like Sri Ram studied under Vashishta Muni. Lord Shri Krishna's Guru was Sandipani. So they all went through their Gurus to get that formal training. Even though they are Lord Almighty, they are the divine being. Lord Shri Krishna himself is the master of this entire universe. He is the one from whom everything is emanated. Yet, when he manifests on this planet Earth, he also has to go through his Guru. He has to meet his Guru and get initiated and then follow that path. It's extremely important. So don't, try to discount the importance and the significance of the Guru in your life. The role of a Guru is very, very critical. And please remember, only the blessed few in this world will have that grace. Like I have explained, when does the Guru find you? Three things has to happen. One is when you need to have a human birth. Human body is extremely important. Second most important thing is you have to have the burning desire to know yourself. Something within is seeking and you don't know what that is. And the third thing is the grace of the God has to dawn on you. When all these three things come together, that is when the real Guru finds you. You don't find the Guru. See, people think, I met my Guru because one of my friend introduced to me. And you know who they give importance to? They give importance to the friend or some relative or someone through whom you have got referenced or met the Guru. They give importance to that person. I'm sorry, it doesn't work like that. Please remember the one importance that you need to give to the Guru himself. Without his grace, you wouldn't have come there. And everybody on that path, or they all have been an instrument. They've just been an instrument in the hands of the divine so that you can reach that destination. You can meet that master. The master has provisioned those tools to perform their job so that you can meet them there. So this is again a very wrong way to look at it. Well, they'll say, he's the one who introduced me to my Guruji. So I am very grateful to him. Are you referring to a tool? It's just a body. Who are you thanking? You need to be thanking the divine being, the Guru himself you have to thank, because he's the one who's made the provision for you to come to him. So he finds you. You don't find him. Neither has your friend or relative or anybody has, been the one who has got you there. The divine Lord works. You're just nothing but a tool in his hands. You're only a puppet in the hands of the puppeteer. So who are you thanking? Thank the divine Lord Almighty. Thank the Guru, because without his grace, you wouldn't have been able to come to him. Please remember this. And this is one important lesson we forget. And I've listened from many people. Recently also I was talking to someone, and this someone said to me, I'm very grateful to the person who has sent me, your satsangs. But I was just explaining to this person, please understand, they are only the tool in the hands of the divine Lord. How the divine Lord works is unfathomable. You can't even comprehend. So don't give, yeah, you have to thank. Yes, that person has played his or her part very well of being the best tool in the hands of the divine Lord. But don't give credit to the individual, because that will raise their ego. They'll think, oh, I am the one who introduced. And this has happened in the past with some of my Guruji's disciples. When, they had introduced few people to my Gurudev, my Krishna Guruji. And many years later, they would take credit. Oh, I was the one who introduced this person to you. I'm sorry, you are nobody. Please remember this. The Guru just uses you as a tool, because those people have to come to him. This is how it works. And whosoever in this universe that the Guru has to meet, they will make provisions for them to come to them. So you and I are nothing but an instrument in the hands of the divine Lord. Please do not forget this lesson. So, like, I wonder many a time when we travel or wherever we go, my Guruji will just happen to meet so many different people on that path. And then I'll realize, wow, how beautiful it is. They might not recognize my Krishna Guruji, but I understand that his grace is required on them. It's only for that momentary thing. They get that blessing. Whatever they have to get from him, they will get it. It is very, very sweet. It is very profound. It is beyond human minds can an understanding. We cannot fathom how the divine Lord works. Can you fathom with your petty mind? Your mind cannot think beyond it cannot even see beyond your nose. So what are you trying to comprehend about, oh, I am the one who introduced, I am the one who brought someone here. Please don't take ownership and credit. This is exactly what Lord Shri Krishna has mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. Do not take ownership, do not have the sense of doership. I am the doer, I did it, I gave, I'm the one who introduced. No, don't take sense of ownership for anything. Your job is to do alone without taking any ownership. And the next thing is, do not get attached to the end result. The fruits of actions is never in your hands. Whatever the divine Lord has to do or give, he will anyways do it. It is already programmed. It is predefined. Things are going to happen the way it has to happen. So why do you battle? Why do you fight? Why do you give so much importance to this I? Who is this I in you? That is what you have to destroy. That's why Ramakrishna Paramahamsa Ji has very beautifully said. He said, when you evolve, you will put the Lord first, then it will become thou, and I will become, it's tuhu, it's not hamma, it is thou. It's not I, it is thou. Everything is thou. It's you. The Lord is most important in your life. You have to give him that first priority. Don't give importance to your ego. And when you surrender your ego like this unto the lotus feet of the Guru, then your spiritual progress will happen. The one thing that destroys or obstructs your spiritual progress is your ego alone. That ego and arrogance of, oh, I am this great person, I am somebody great, I am this RajShree Rao, I'm known as something in this world. Who is this I? Who is this RajShree Rao? Where is RajShree? When you cut this body up, can you find out where RajShree is? No, you can't. You cannot. So the I is just that ego, and ego is all over it's everywhere. We think this is the body. I am that. What is this I? You don't understand, because you feel you're confined in this body. You can't be confined. And then don't go by this name which is given to this body. Realize your divine self, who truly you are. That is why we are saying, what does the Guru does? When you go on the path of spirituality, the Guru helps you unravel your true self. That's why we say self-realization. The realization has to come within yourself. The self will give you that realization on its own when you are, when it is pleased with you. That is why we say Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma. Parabrahma is the Guru himself. And when the Guru is pleased with you, he grants you that realization on his own when the time is right. That is why we say moksha moolam gurur krupam. Without the grace of the guru, you can't attain moksha. So most important, the guru is the integral part in your spiritual growth. Please remember this. And those who have the guru should be eternally grateful, and please be and feel that indebtedness. Sai Baba has very beautifully explained. You have to wear the mala, the garland, or the ornament of indebtedness to eternity in your life of your guru, because we are ungrateful people. We think it is our birthright that the guru should do everything for us the way we want. Where is this ego comes from? What makes you think you are some great person on this planet earth? Who do you think you are? Ask this question to yourself. We all have gone through this. We think we're somebody great, we are somebody very, somebody who deserves everything. Who's telling you that you deserve it? The deservability is evaluated by your Gurudev alone, and that will reveal, depending on how you evolve on that path of spirituality, how much effort you put, what kind of sadhana you do, and how much you really mean. What does spiritual mean to you? See, that is why I keep saying everything is individual. It is not in comparison to someone else. I need to seek my own spiritual wheel. I am not going to be comparing, oh, I need to compete with someone. There is no competition with anybody. See, God is to each his own. You cannot compete with some other person. This is not a material world examination that we are writing, or we want to compete for a job. Yeah, see, the reason why you think you have to compete is you're going to say, okay, I love, see, the Radha Rani loves Krishna, the ultimate. Can I love Lord Shri Krishna more than Radha Rani? That's a goal to have. Why? Because she's the highest, and you want to love your Lord Shri Krishna more than her. So it's a beautiful competition. It's a healthy competition to have. But that doesn't mean that we become a bad human beings, where we are always talking ill about others or saying something really bad. And we are not here to spite someone. Don't antagonize anybody and trying to bring your ego and destroying a relationship. That is not what we are into. See, this competition itself is very healthy. You want to express your love to your Lord, so please express. Who is stopping you? There is nobody in this world to stop you. But it is not done because you want to show somebody or prove a point to someone. Love is just to you, to each his own. The devotion and love that you have for your divine, for your Ishta, it's what comes from within you. You cannot compare with me, neither can I compare with you or anybody in this world. To each his own. That is why I keep saying this. Do not forget, your guru or your God is to each his own. It's very beautiful. It is what you experience. It is how deep you have gone into your spiritual development. It is how deep you go into this ocean of love and devotion. That is why I keep saying this spirituality, this God is like Athanga Sagar, limitless ocean. How deep you want to go is the choice you have in your hand. You can go. Nobody is stopping you except your mind alone. So why are you thinking there is somebody outside you stopping? There is nobody outside of you stopping you except you, your own self. And that is your mind's self-conceit and deceit. So the day you get rid of your mind, when we say get rid, you have to just control it. You cannot overcome the mind, because Lord Shri Krishna has very nicely explained, it is my conviction that you will be able to control the mind. He only says this. So controlling the mind is in your hands. And how do you look at it? Only then the knowledge will open up. You will go deeper in understanding. Then you will understand everything is this truth alone. Everybody is just a conduit. They are there as a catalyst in this world. And the Guru, the great master, uses everybody so that he cares about everybody's well-being. And if you understand how the gurus work, it's very profound. You cannot even fathom. An example, yesterday we were studying about how Narahari blesses his parents, saying that whenever you think of me, you will have my darshan. What does it mean? He says, see, when the divine being leave, it feels so horrible. Imagine, it's their son. He's leaving the home and going. No matter they have 4 more children, it will still not replace the child who has left the parents. Okay, but you know what, that is the viraha, that is the bhakti he's establishing. Why? Because their mind is going to be established in this divine being, because he is a god, he's the greatest guru on this planet earth. And if their mind is always established in him, isn't he already attaining the spiritual wheel? That is the greatness of these gurus, the way they work. It's incredible. They make everybody as in conduit. You might think something bad is happening. There's no bad happening. Everything happens for the good alone. So you have to always see the upside of everything. And this is one thing my Krishna Guruji will always teach us. See, the mind always shows the downside of every situation, every incident that happens in our life, no matter what it is. But even when you discriminate, saying that, oh, something is good, not discriminate, when you kind of sway between the pairs of opposites, between good and bad, then what happens? Oh, there is a favorable event, there is an unfavorable event. But no matter what the event is or incident is in your life, please remember, everything is happening for the good alone. Can you see the upside of it? God is very kind. Yes, this body has to go through its prarabdha karma. It is there to fulfill its karmas. It has to expiate that karma. There are no two ways about it. But when you have the grace of the Guru, I always keep saying this, the karma is cushioned. The impact that you feel is only 10%. The 90% is completely cushioned. And please have that grace. Use that grace. Be blessed. Feel blessed. Most important, you're already blessed. You have to feel that blessing with you all the time. That, remember, the Guru is always there in the tattva. It's not the physical body that is important, it is the tattva. But most important, when you have the Guru in the physical form, worshipping him because he's the God Almighty, can you believe the Parabrahma is with you? And we disregard that Parabrahma. Can you imagine the importance of a Guru? Because all the God rests within him. There is no power greater than a Guru. That is why it is being said in one of the chapters, you will read about what you should not do with your Guru. There is a chapter which will come about it. We will read when it comes. But you know what is it being said? When the gods are angry, the Guru can come and save you. But if your Guru himself gets angry, there is no God on this planet Earth, in this entire universe, who can save you. So don't get the wrath of your Guru ever. Please remember, don't treat him like an ordinary human being. He is not an ordinary human being. He's the Parabrahma, the God himself. Yes, he appears very ordinary, but don't take him for granted. There are a lot of people, a lot of disciples, devotees, everybody in this world try to take him for grantedness. Why? Because we think he's some ordinary human being because of his appearance. And please remember, don't fall for his appearance. That is nothing but his Maya. He doesn't want the world to see him. And only when he confers the grace upon those devotees who he wants them to see him, that glimpse, a little glimpse of the divinity who he is, only then will that devotee or disciple be able to recognize the divine being, and that too only momentarily. And later, you know what he'll do? He'll cover them with the Maya. But how much is your faith? The faith is the most important thing. Please remember, God will reveal himself to you at his perfect timing. But you cannot stop having that love and devotion for him. Your quest, what is here, his Krishna Saraswati saying, Narahari he was pleased with his devotion, the austere discipline and earnestness. You need to have all of this. This is what Krishna Guruji also teaches. We need to be austere. We need to have a discipline. We need to have that earnestness to evolve on the path of spirituality. We need to, the fire within us has to burn. It has to say, oh, I want to achieve my spiritual will. I have to progress. I have to do. So every single day that has to be your goal. And don't get carried away with the material worldly desires. The more you get into that material worldly desires, the more you will get entangled in the material world. So use this time. And yesterday, didn't Narahari talk about the time? Don't waste this human birth. And if you waste away in the frivolities of material worldly existence, then, when you don't realize the God, that is the biggest tragedy in your life. Not having realized God, despite having your Guru. Then what is the point in having a Guru today? There are a lot of my Krishna Guruji's disciples. My Krishna Guruji will say, it's very sad that today I am here, but people don't come to me. And you know what? Now, he has already taken up into going into incognito, because he has taught enough. It's done. He's done with his knowledge giving. But people have not been serious. You have to become very serious and come and ask. He's always ever waiting there. Like Ramakrishna Paramahansaji would say to Kalima, Ma, where are the devotees? I am waiting here eagerly for them so that I can give them this knowledge. I can teach them. I want somebody to talk. Likewise, my Krishna Guruji says, I just need that one. I need that one or two who will, take this knowledge from me, who will want to go on that path, who are very serious, but not bring your ego. See, when you bring your ego and whatever your arrogance and everything, you will destroy that spirituality. See, spirituality will grow only when you have that harmony in this entire with the universe. Most important, the harmony, the peace within yourself is extremely important. When you have the fluttering of your mind, when it's with the ruffled waters, you cannot have the tranquility. The tranquility doesn't exist. So how can you go deep within you to realize that God is not going to show you. You're covering him with furthermore ignorance. Why do you want to do that? So respect this guru. The whole aspect here I'm trying to drill into all of us is that you need to revere your guru. You need to respect him. How blessed you are to have this great master in your life is what I'm trying to explain to you. It is not so easy to get a guru. I'm talking about the real gurus, not the fake gurus in this world. Please remember, there are a lot of fake gurus. You can go and find dime a dozen. And more so, the more you have money, though, you can get all the great conglomerates. People with there are great masters with running conglomerates. And you can go donate all the money you have. You'll be given a VVIP treatment over there. But in a guru's ashram, in the real master's ashram, or in a real master when you have, there is no VVIP treatment. On the contrary, he'll treat you like a doormat. It's a way to say, okay, doesn't mean he's treating you like a doormat. What I mean is that he is going to see how much you can become submissive, how much you can control your ego, how you can overcome your arrogance. Because we all have an attitude, no, I am some this person, I've lived here, I live here, I'm doing this, I have this money. You cannot come with all that. When you come to the real master, most important is humility and humbleness. There is no ego. So the Guruji will test to see how much you are able to overcome your ego. There is no point in having an ego. Ego is not going to take you anywhere. On the contrary, when you give up this ego, when you merge in the divine, you will experience that oneness. That is why we say yoga means union with the divine. So when you merge in the divine, when you experience that love within your Gurudev, it's the most beautiful thing. You're merging with that Parabrahma himself. But what does obstruct between you and your Guruji is that ego. Oh, my Guruji is treating me bad. He's making me look small. No, the Guruji is only destroying your ego. Please remember, most important thing on the path of spirituality is to overcome the ego, especially in the Kali Yuga. See, during Lord Dattatreya's time, they had no ego. He had already taken a Sanyasasrama. Where is the question of ego here? He gave up his family, everything, and he walked out. Do you have that courage to do so? No. Why? Because we are all so attached to the material worldly things. My father, my mother, I have to take care of them. They are old. What happens to them? Why don't you understand? The one who has given birth to this entire universe has already made provisions. Have you not seen that? What makes you think that you are responsible to take care of them? Even when even before you came into spiritual, things were happening. Even after you came into spiritual, things are still happening the way it has to happen. So what makes you think that you are responsible for anyone? So this is the fear that you need to let go. Surrender to him. Surrender. Absolute faith. Complete surrender. Unconditional pure love and exclusive devotion is the only way to attain the divine. And you need to get the divine grace. Without that grace, you are not going anywhere in your spiritual wheel. Please remember, you are going to be there only. That is how it works. So coming back, Krishna Saraswati recognized in him a future servant of the spiritual culture of the country, and especially servant of the spiritual culture of the country, and especially one who was going to glorify the supremacy of Sanyasasrama again, as was earlier done by Shree Adi Shankaracharya of Kaladi. He was immensely happy to have Narahari as his disciple and to initiate him into Sanyasa. Narahari was given by him the new name of Narasimha Saraswati. How beautiful. Whatever the name you have is the name given by your parents, this body's parents who has given birth to this body. But the day you meet your Guruji, when he initiates you in spirituality, you become twice born, which means you have a new birth. You become the Guru Putra or Guru Putri, means the son or the daughter of the Guru, and then he gives you a new name. That is what is the name you will be recognized as. And then since then, Narahari became Shree Narasimha Saraswati. That's so beautiful. This is how it happens. So the name has to come from the Guruji himself. The Guru will give you the name, that which fits you, and then you're completely his own. So that is why we say we become part of Vasudev Kutumbam. Everybody, see, this entire universe is part of Vasudev Kutumbam. You and me doesn't have an independent family, but because of the attachment to body, we feel, oh, this is my parents, that is somebody, this is my relative, this is my friend. We feel all of that. So those are the attachments you have to overcome. Namdarak interrupted Siddha Yogi and asked why Narahari, God incarnate himself, needed a guru, and why should he go through the formality of initiation? Very, very important question. I'm sure this question must have come even to you, right? Why should a Lord himself, great master himself, who has incarnated, should need a guru, and why should he go through a formal formality of initiation? I think I answered it already, but let's see what Siddha Muni is saying, and we'll answer once again. Siddha Muni said, Guru is the link between God and the embodied being, even though the latter may have been a divine incarnation. How beautiful. What is the answer? Guru is the link between God and the embodied. What does they do? When the divine manifests, it is embodied. Means it is taking a form. The formless takes a form. It is embodied. So Guru is the link between God and the embodied. It is embodied. This body is embodied. So he is the link between the God and the embodied being. Even though the latter may have been a divine incarnation. Even though they are God Almighty, the Lord Almighty must have incarnated. Even then they have to go through the formal initiation under the great master. I mean real master, not some fake people who will give initiation to thousands and millions as though that is it's available in a market. That's how they'll take it. And the mantra is given in a mass production. It doesn't work like that. The gurus only instruct those who have to be instructed or initiated or given the Khan mantra. It is not for everybody. This is not available as a mass production, Oh, everybody come here, it's like a Janta class. It's not like that. Only those chosen ones will get initiated, number one. Number two, the Khan mantra will be given to those who the Guru decides to give. It is not you and me. I can ask the Guruji, I need this, I need that. The Guru is not going to even bother. He knows what is right for you, and he will initiate you only in that path, and he will give you the mantra if he thinks it is important for you. So that is how it works. So don't go by what happens in the material world, in the sense by what you see, believe, or you study, or you read and you come across. None of this is the truth. Here we are reading the gospel truth of Guru Charitra, imparted by Narasimha Saraswati himself, none other than Lord Dattatreya. He's talking, what does it mean to be Guru, have a Guru Bhakti? How do you evolve on the path of spiritual journey? Why initiation is important? All these things you need to understand. This is the Adhyatmic truth, not for any material worldly people who think spirituality is an escapism from material world. I'm sorry, spirituality is not for weak-hearted people. Yes, I will always say spirituality is only for those who want to truly evolve on the path of God realization. They are evolving on the path of the truth, on the righteousness, on dharma, and they are here to serve a purpose of the divine Lord Almighty, not for anybody and everybody. Please remember, this is not like everybody comes here and gets some benefit out of it. There is no benefit. On the contrary, we become the servants of the Lord Almighty. We are his servants. We are his humble servants. And this body is used to serve his purpose in this world. It has no other purpose except for serving the purpose of the divine. You have to commit to that. That is the truth about getting into spirituality. And most important, for having this human birth, is highest goal is God realization. And when you believe God is the ultimate thing that you want to achieve, then material world doesn't exist. This is the truth that you need to understand. So do not ever forget this truth. So go after that, and don't think spirituality is like what people have talked about. That is not true spirituality. And that is why here Lord Dattatreya himself is explaining why Guru is important. What does it mean? Guru Charitra. The Charitra. Who is a Guru? Why do you need a Guru? It is talking everything about the importance and significance of a Guru in this world. And nobody teaches us the importance of the Guru. And everybody calls themselves a Guru. You cannot call yourselves a Guru, you know that? The Guru, you become a Guru when you get the divine command. Like example, in this case, Narasimha Saraswati was initiated formally by Krishna Saraswati. He was given a name and he was initiated in the Sanyasasrama, and he had a very clear mandate. The mandate was to establish the culture in the country, especially for glorifying the supremacy of the Sanyasasrama. So like Adi Shankaracharya also did that. So everybody comes with a purpose. And they were all formally initiated by their Gurudevs. So don't think that you can do whatever you want in this world. And like my Krishna Guruji will always say that everybody's purpose is different, and I've initiated them on that path. And if you give in to your own self-conceit and deceit and say that I don't want to follow the path, I don't want to do what my Guruji is asking me to do, then please remember Bhagavad Gita chapter 18, there is a verse which comes into existence. Lord Shri Krishna has very clearly explained that if you give in to your mind's self-conceit and deceit and take stand to your egotism, please remember that you will perforce perform the same action born of your nature as though mounted on a machine. So whether you like it or not, you're still going to do that. But what happens when you do at the first instance, when your Gurudev ordains you to do, then you don't incur karma. But when you give in to your egoism and everything, you will still do the same action. You have no two ways. You have no choice. Please remember, you will still perform the same action, but then you will accrue, you will incur karma. Why do you want that? So this is what we are being taught here. The significance and importance of a Guru. Who is this Guru and why the formal initiation important? How do you recognize a real master? The real master is not wearing a garb. He's not having a conglomerate to run to. He doesn't get involved in world politics. He's not solving world peace. He's only here to uplift the unrighteousness and establish righteousness. Uplift those who have fallen down. Put the disciples and the devotees on the path. Establish faith in the divine. They all come for a certain purpose, and that purpose is extremely important. So, Namdarak asked this question. Why Narahari, God incarnate himself, needed a Guru, and why should he go through the formality of initiation? Siddhamuni said, Guru is the link between God and the embodied being, even though the latter may have been a divine incarnation. Sri Ram had Vashishta Rishi as Guru, and Sri Krishna has Sandipani Rishi as his Guru. He gave a glorious account of the Guru Parampara. See, the Guru Parampara is very important, not some ordinary human beings, please. The Guru Parampara, it's a lineage. You come from that lineage. He said, originating with Lord Shankara himself. Shankara, Vishnu, Brahma, Vashishta, Shakti, Parasara, Vyasa, Sukha, Gaudapada, Govindacharya, Shankara, Bhagavad Pada. Thus flows the glorious Guru Parampara, said Siddha Yogi. Have you recognized the Guru Parampara, how the lineage has come about? So, you cannot disregard this. And I know people cannot exploit saying, oh, I come from this Parampara. A lot of people just say for the heck of saying it. On the contrary, they are not even there. The real master doesn't even say. Please remember, those who recognize the true master, of course, they come from a particular lineage. Like my Gurudev is Lord Dattatreya. My Guruji, Lord Shri Krishna Guruji he is, and his Gurudev is Dattatreya. As a manifest, though he is Lord Shri Krishna himself, he had to learn under his Gurudev. So that is very important. So we come from a Nath Sampradaya. So that is how the lineage comes about. So what are you thinking? That you go to some ordinary fake gurus and they claim that they come from some some of these Guru Paramparas? I'm sorry. And if they come from such Guru Paramparas, they will not have conglomerates. Most important. So in this entire Guru Charitra, you will recognize what is the Charitramrit of the Guru, a real master. What does he do? How does he live? What does he eat? What are his, how do you recognize the divine being like this? A great master. That is what you will learn. So Siddha Yogi explained that for spreading true knowledge, for the enlightenment and welfare of all, Sri Narasimha Saraswati conducted a number of Jnana Yajnas by discoursing and giving sermons, going from place to place around Varanasi. Hundreds of people were guided on the spiritual path by him. A number of them became his disciples. Wow. Now do you understand? I think I've discussed all of this. I'm going to reread this again for your own understanding. Siddha Yogi explained that for spreading true knowledge, it is not a fake knowledge, it's not a false knowledge. And that is why I keep saying to you, like what my Krishna Guruji has taught, only a God can explain who God is. No ordinary human being can have this knowledge. That is why it is said, the Vedas, which is emanated from Lord Shri Krishna himself, he is the God of all knowledge. The knowledge is emanated from him. And who else other than him can teach what Bhagavad Gita is, or what Uddhav Gita is, or what Srimad Bhagavatam is? Only the God can tell you who God is, not any other being. Unless and until they have been instructed by their great masters to teach. And the words, again, this body is an instrument. I've been instructed by my Krishna Guruji to do this satsang. And this is being formally anointed and then given the blessing for me to do this. So I don't own this knowledge. The words are of my Krishna Guruji's wisdom. The source is different. This body is only a conduit. It's an instrument. It's like a tap. So when you open the tap, the words flow from it, like the water pipe. Like the pipe, this is a body is a pipe, and you open the tap, the water flows from it. Similarly, the words are of my Guruji's wisdom. I don't own this knowledge. So when you take credit for the knowledge, or you think that you are some great person who's imparting this knowledge, then the moment you say that, this knowledge will not flow from your mouth. You need to understand. This is just a vehicle. It's an instrument. It is serving the purpose of the Divine Lord Almighty. It is my Gurudev's instruction for me to teach or give satsang, and when he formally anoints and gives this book, the scripture in my hand in a formal manner, then I will have to do his bidding. It is his command for me to do this. That is how it works. So this body is nothing but an instrument, a mere instrument in the hands of the Divine Lord. That is how you need to think about. You need to be extremely humble about it. If you think you know something, you are some great knowledgeable person, please remember that knowledge will not even exist within you. It will vanish like that. Likewise, my Guruji, though he has manifested in that body, he is a great Lord Almighty. Yet he also had to go through his formal training, and he has done his own sadhanas. Of course, and then his Guruji is ordained. His Gurudev, Lord Dattatreya, is ordained that my Krishna Guruji has to teach in this world. And then students came, his disciples are there, and he serves his purpose. That is all his job is to. And he's not here to make money, he's not here to make conglomerates. That is not what a real master does. That is not his business at all. His job is only to impart knowledge and, give the true spiritual aspirants this wheel, the spiritual wheel. That is all he's here for. And what else they are here for? Let us read again. He says, spreading the true knowledge for the enlightenment and welfare of all. Spreading the true knowledge. And that is exactly what my Krishna Guruji will teach everybody. You can do whatever you want to. Live in this world, but follow the path of righteousness. Follow the path of truthfulness. That is what my Krishna Guruji teaches. And he shows the people, how do you live a righteous life? That is what he cares about. And then he establishes everybody on their path of dharma. He puts dharma back on track, and he, initiates, gives knowledge, and fulfills sometimes, many a time, not fulfill, all the time, fulfills people's petty desires too. Sri Narasimha Saraswati conducted a number of Jnana Yajnas by discoursing and giving sermons, going from place to place around Varanasi. So as a part of his purpose, he performed his duties. Even the gurus have their duty. What is it? Like in this case, He conducted a number of yajnas, jnana yajnas, by discoursing and giving sermons. That was his purpose. Going from place to place around Varanasi, hundreds of people were guided on the spiritual path by him. So everybody's purpose is different. Like in my Krishna Guruji's case, he's not looking for hundreds and millions of people to be put on spiritual path. He gives satsang. It is recorded. Everything is there on Krishna Knows website, Krishna Knows channel. You want to go listen, you can listen. But please remember, in his case, only the true spiritual seekers will be put on the spiritual path, not everybody, because this is not for everyone. But everybody has different purpose at different times when they manifest. In Kali Yuga, my Krishna Guruji only cares about a few handful of people who come with that real, wanting to really seek that spiritual way. And for them, he will guide them on that path. A number of them became his disciples. In Narasimha Saraswati's case, number of students became his disciples. In my Krishna Guruji's case, handful of them. Only very few really care about their spiritual way. So he says, I'm not here for wanting millions and billions to be my students. I only care about the handful of them, those who really want to evolve on the path of spirituality. From Varanasi, Narasimha Saraswati went to Badarikasrama forest with his disciples. Then he moved from place to place and arrived at Ganga Sagar near Calcutta. And also you need to remember, now here it is mentioned that from Varanasi, Narasimha Saraswati went to Badarikasrama forest with his disciples. In those days, once the Guru has a disciple, they will be traveling all over and they will do their sadhana. They're going to go to different places. Those places are, they have their spiritual significance. They are very holy. And sometimes these places become holy because of these great masters doing their sadhana, tapascharya, and establishing certain, establishing some gods over there, and where they would worship that particular god. So that becomes a place of pilgrimage too for the future generations. So this is what the great masters did. And most important, when the disciples also travel with the gurus, why? That is how they get to learn. And then they are there with their guru, serving the guru. So all these disciples are also the sannyasis. They have already taken into sannyasa. So they are not having their family. They have left their family and they're going with their guru on that path. And then on that journey, they will serve the Guru. The Guru is going to give them the knowledge. He is going to teach them. This is how beautiful it is to being with the Guru and learning. It's a very, very profound way to learn. And see, if you read even Samarth Ramdas's life story, in that Ramdas Maharaj has said, how he had a few disciples who were with him. In that, one of the great disciple was I forgot her name. She was a female disciple of Samarth Ramdas. It starts with Akka. I forgot, but I will give you the name. So she gave up everything when Samarth Ramdas Maharaj asked her, are you willing to come walk with me? And he said, okay, give away everything. She literally emptied her entire house. And she gave away all her belongings and walked with Samarth Ramdas Maharaj. That is how you have to be. You will have to be able to give up everything and walk with your Gurudev. Not bring your arrogance and ego. When you go with your Guru, he is going to put you through a lot of challenges to see whether you will evolve on that path or not. So everybody is taught in their own way. The Guru's way of teaching is beyond anybody's human mind, ken and understanding. Please know this. And don't ever fall for how he teaches you. And many a time, it's very cute. Actually, I go through this with my Guruji. I must say this. It's very beautiful. He'll talk to me suddenly very seriously. Sometimes I would not understand what is he trying to tell me. And even for the nth time, I would fall for his ways of testing me. Because you just don't understand that your Guru is testing you. Like my Krishna Guruji will sometimes say certain things which will provoke me, It's like provoking my anger. And then I'll wonder, okay, It's much later that I'll realize, oh my god, oh, didn't you just provoke me? It was just to test me, right? And then he'll smile. He say, yeah, you don't understand. That's so sweet. But the point is that you're under constant test, and they'll do it when you least expect it. Okay, you will not even know they have done it. It's so beautiful, it's so subtle, the way they will test you, and they will see where you stand depending on what answers you give, what kind of action you commit, what kind of things that you say. It all depends. And please remember, the guru is always watching you. He's always watching you. He's constantly seeing how you are progressing, how you behave, how you do things, everything, every small aspects. They are, micromanaging. I should say that. Not that they're literally on top of your head. They're just there. They're watching you. They're all observant. Even if you're not in front of them, they know what you're doing. You can lie to them as much as you want. Please knowing they're all knowing beings. You can't lie. You cannot speak one word lie to the great master. Never ever commit this error in your life. Don't ever say anything that is going to put you down. Always speak the truth. Even if you have committed a mistake, accept it graciously and be humble about it. It's okay to make mistakes, and your Guruji will always pardon you. And then he will tell you why you're not supposed to do, and please evolve on that path. But never speak lies to your Gurudev. That is the biggest sin you will ever commit. Never ever do, knowingly or unknowingly too. Sometimes we might do unknowingly because that's a human nature to lie, to be fearful. Oh, what is my Guruji saying? But the Guruji wants to see whether you have the courage to speak the truth or not. That is what he's always going to test you with. And your mind will tell, don't tell him. Just lie, just hide it. Never do that. Never ever do that. That is the biggest sin that you commit. So always remember, the gurus are going to test you dime a dozen. And the test will come when you least expect it. And how the test comes, you don't even know. His universe will work its magic. They will beautifully, put the test in front of you. And then the master is watching to see how well you're going to fare in that test. You know why? Because he wants to see whether the lessons that he has imparted to you has fructified within or not. Depending on how you react, what you say, what kind of actions you commit, he'll understand where you stand. So how much more learning you have to go through, he understands this as well. And it's not overnight that you can achieve anything. Please remember, it's many lifetimes of process. Spirituality is not one day that you can achieve everything. No, you have to go through the journey. You have to walk that path and walk it. No, it's okay. And don't bother about what is going to happen, whether I'm going to attain my spiritual wheel or not. Yeah, you have to be focused. You have to say, no, I want to achieve, I want to achieve, I want to attain God. That burning desire has to be there 24/7. And if you don't have, then you'll slack. And then you'll give in to inertia, tamas, lethargy, where the Kali Purusha is eagerly waiting you to put you in that gutters. So don't fall for it. Live, like my Krishna Guruji has taught from Bhagavad Gita and even in Uddhav Gita. He says, you have to, lift yourself, self-effort. You have to deliver yourself. There is nobody who's going to come and help you to do that. You have to empower yourself and deliver. So the self-effort is in your hands only. Choice is with you. It is not with anybody. The Guruji can only impart knowledge. He cannot spoon feed you. In the sense, he can't walk that path for you. Yeah, spoon feed also Guruji does. Because he knows we are many a time very incapable. Because we don't want to lift our finger to do stuff. We don't want to put that self-effort. But many a time he's very kind. He'll spoon feed you also. But he'll say, can you do your swadharma? Can you do your part of the deal? You have to do your work. You have to show your effort. Your effort has to be there. Without self-effort, nothing is going to come. And what comes without self-effort will also vanish away. Only when you do it by yourself, then you'll understand the value. You will gain the knowledge. You will understand what it means to empower you, what it means to empower the God within you. Please remember, all the power, everything that we talked about rests within us. But that empowerment has to be done through self-effort alone. There is nothing that anybody can give it to you from outside. And when the Parabrahma is pleased, remember, moksha moolam gurur krupam. The krupam will come on you and the moksham will also come. God realization will happen when the Parabrahma is pleased with you. When your Gurudev is pleased with you. Not so easy. And please remember, the Guru is not going to hand out, God realization like it's some, I don't know, like some handouts, whatever that might be. It's not so easy. He's going to think it's 1 in a billion or 1 in a zillion will you be able to achieve. It's not so easy. So today you have the opportunity. So don't waste that opportunity. Today you have your master. Today you have your great guru, the God himself with you. Don't waste this precious moment in your life. Go after it and redeem yourself. So then he moved from place to place and arrived at Ganga Sagar near Calcutta. Traveling along the banks of the holy river, he reached Prayaga, Triveni, the holy confluence of the sacred rivers, Ganga, Yamuna and the subterranean Saraswati. He initiated one Madhava Saraswati into Sanyasa at the holy Prayaga. Wow. See, what is it? Why is he specifying one initiation? Let me explain to you this. He has his disciples, doesn't mean all his disciples were initiated. The gurus see the deservability of the disciple and only then they initiate that disciple to the higher spiritual evolution. Why? Because they have proved themselves to be spiritually deserving. You have to show your deservability. So here he said he initiated one Madhava Saraswati into Sanyasa at the holy Prayag. So it's very clearly being specified. So like that, there are only few initiations and initiations can happen at different levels. Yes, you are initiated on the path of spirituality, but that doesn't mean that you can attain God realization. Yes, you have been put on that path. How much you journey on that is the choice you have, the effort that you make. Again, everything rests within you alone. It is not with your Gurudev. The Guruji can only give you so much, beyond which it is you who have to walk that path. There is nobody else who can walk that path for you. And this is what I keep saying. It's all about self-effort, empowering the Lord within yourself. So you have to do your sadhana, you have to do your studies, everything that your Gurudev has asked you to do, and follow that path. And when the Parabrahma pleases, God will give you that realization. The self-realization will happen at its appointed timing. So don't be attached to that end result. That also you should not have. Your job is to do alone, not expect the fruits of your action. So with that, we end today's chapter. Thus ends the 12th chapter of Sri Guru Charitra, describing the glorious Guru Parampara that nourished and sustained the perennial flow of spiritual wisdom, Jnana Ganga, in the holy and blessed land of Bharat Desha. Mera Bharat Mahan. Thank you for joining Sri Guru Charitra Parayan. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. See you all tomorrow morning at the same time. Om Shri Mahaganapate Namaha. Om Shri Gurudev Datta. Om Shri Sachidananda Sadguru Sainath Maharaj Ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Digambara Digambara Shri Pad Vallabha Digambara. Om Shri Krishna Gurunath Natha Shri Guruve Namaha. Om Devi Durgaya Namaha. Om Shri Krishna Arpanam Namastu. Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum.